I'm Claire from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. I try and post a video weekly on a little crafty make for you, mainly a card. I like to do projects that have a bit of a wow on the inside, and this week's is definitely that. In the UK it's Mother's Day on Sunday, so this is specially for my mum. I actually saw this on Instagram. The lady who did it is Inspirations D. Lovely butterfly shaker on the front, ladybird shaker on the front, and then inside was a nice pocket and a lovely pop-up vase card. So mine is based on hers, without the ladybird and without all the extra bits, because I like to make it as simple for you to follow along as possible. So hopefully this is just that. So it looks like that on the outside. Okay, I did think afterwards I could have put a ribbon round so that you could hold it together, but it doesn't matter. So it's just got a ribbon across the front and a sentiment, and inside there's a lovely pocket for some chocolate. And then if you open this piece here, it's got one of those vase cards with the flowers there. See, isn't that clever? A nice space for a personal message, another sentiment here, and that is it. Ta-da! Do you love it? I absolutely love it. I'm still having fun playing with all the different elements. I've got lots of ideas, but I wanted to show you this ready for this Mother's Day. So this is my craft along video for that. So what did I use? Not seen these papers before, have you? No, but they're definitely Stampin' Ups. So in the back of the mini catalogue, you know, this one that we are all loving at the moment, right at the back, very last page, it has got a sneaky peek of this paper here, okay? And to earn that paper you need to host a party, and then you can choose that as your reward. Now you actually get 48 sheets in it, so it's well worth doing, and it is stunning paper. So I'll show you some of the others. So this was one sheet of the paper, and then this is another sheet. And of course, being Stampin' Up, it's double-sided, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at it. Really lovely. Lovely, vibrant colours. Look at those. They're just so gorgeous, and there's so many of them. But there's the one I picked earlier. Really lovely, full of spring hope. All sorts of colour. Lots of the in colours are used on there, even those. And they just coordinate together so amazingly well. So the hardest bit, as ever, is picking some of the colours that you like. So the second one, there you go, I think I've showed you them all. The second choice that I've gone for is these colours here. So I'm going to use this pattern for the inside and this pattern for the outside. Just absolutely beautiful. Everything coordinates. So that's what we've gone for. Just a note about my thinking. So when I first did my prototype, I did it card size, because in my head I'm sending a card and I want it to be card size. This was my first attempt. It's okay. But when it came to putting the chocolate bar in, no, it just stuck out. So it's just no good. So the sizes that I give you obviously fit my particular Galaxy chocolate bar. So you might need to adjust the height. The width I think you'll be okay with. This is like a 1/2 inch pocket, and there's actually quite a lot of room in there. But the height, so mine is 7 inches, you may need to adjust it a little bit bigger. But measure your chocolate bar first and then go from there is what I would suggest. So what do you need? You need a couple of pieces of A4 card, because we need one base that's 7 by 8 2/8 and one that's 7 by 9. essentially this is 2 cards slotted together, which is why I'm really excited to share it with you, because if you can make a card, you can make this. Then there's a lovely pocket for the chocolate, and then the designer series paper, I'll talk you through that as we go along. And then the little mechanism, the vase mechanism, there's a couple of sizes there for you to take note of, but again, I'll talk you through it as we go. It sounds like and looks like it's really complicated, but I promise you it isn't. This is definitely going to be one of those makes that you're just so glad that you've tried, and that you're then excited to give. So for the colours that I've chosen, I've gone with this, which is Fresh Freesia, also because it's quite nice and spring-like as well. So I've got a couple of pieces of that, and I'm going to show you step by step. So the first card that we're working on is the pocket one, okay? And that needs to have a piece that is 7 inches, so I have to open this up, 7 inches by 9, okay, so 7 inches along the short side, and then 9 inches on the long side, okay, so 7 by 9, and you need to score it at both ends on the long side at 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 is there. Make sure you're not cutting, you're just scoring, and then I'll whiz it round and do it 4 1/8 from the other side. So super easy. Okay, now if you fold that, you can see already that that is your base bit. So you've got that nice panel in the middle that's going to do your opening. So we're going to just put that to one side, get another piece of A4, and this time you're going to do the vase side of the card. So that again needs to be 7 inches or adjusted to whatever size your chocolate bar is. And for me, 7 inches is right. So 7 inches, and then this is 8 2/8. So 8 2/8. Okay, so I'm just going to put that out of the way, and I'm going to score that at 4 1/8. So essentially just a simple card base. Okay, so that is my other piece. I'm going to put to one side. And while we're cutting, we might as well cut the pocket. So the pocket needs to be 4 3/4 by 6. So I don't think any of my offcuts are going to fit. So I'm going to get another piece of A4. So it's 4 3/4. And it's by 6. So 6. 4 3/4 by 6. Okay, and while you're there, you need to score that on the 6 inch side. So make sure you've got the 6 inch side at the top, and you're going to score it at a half, and then 1 inch on 3 of the sides. So you've got 2 lines there, it'd be a half, and then 1 inch there, and then the third one, 1/2 inch, and then 1 inch there, just like that. Right, so I'm going to move that trimmer out of the way, and I'm just going to prep my pocket. So with the side at the top with no score lines, what we're going to do is we're going to cut each corner out. So in the corner there's 4 squares, and we're just going to cut them out. So there's that one. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the other side as well. Just like so. It's very strange in the house at the minute because both of the kittens have gone out. Usually as soon as I start videoing, they're hanging around. Okay, So you're getting rid of those 2 pieces. Don't need those. And you're just going to burnish those score lines. And you can see that this is your pocket. Okay. And then we can start decorating. See? We're nearly there. So that's my pocket. So put that out the way. Okay, we're going to bring the piece back that has got the extra panel in the middle. And we're going to concentrate on the front at the moment. So find the front. And I've done a layer of white card and then design a series paper on mine on the front and the back, or on the inside, just to make it stand out a little bit more. So if I show you on this one, I've done a border, a white piece of card and then the DSP on the top. But on the inside, I've just done straight DSP. So the size for the white card is 6 7/8 by 4. Okay, 6 7/8 by 4. So that goes on there. And then the DSP on top of that is just an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 6 3/4 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that straight on. And look, new glue. Anybody else get excited about new glue? It's going to come out gushing though, isn't it? So I'm going to try and keep it pointing downwards so that it comes out not so fast. Okay, oh, that is lovely, starting a new glue. Okay, so we're just having a look to make sure there's a bit of a white border all the way round, and that's that. Now this is the point that you decide whether you're going to put some ribbon on. So on my one, I did put some ribbon round. I put one piece that was just flat, and then the next bit I tied round. But then afterwards I thought, oh, I should have put ribbon underneath and tied it closed. So I might do that on this one. No, I won't. I think I'll just leave it like this. So I'm going to put some ribbon across there, but I want it to be tucked behind these pieces. So let me find some ribbon. Now I've got this really glittery ribbon, but I'm not sure if that's going to get hidden. Oh no, it's really nice. Maybe if I put a piece of white normal ribbon and then put this glittery over the top, that is nice actually. So this piece is just going to be straight across, so it doesn't have to have much excess. And this piece is going to have a little tie in it. So what I would normally do is tie it around a spritzer bottle, but I'm not going to do that because I'd have to run into the other room. So I'm just going to tie it around my finger and then tie it again like that, fairly tight, and then slip it off. And then that will go round, so probably about there. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put some double-sided tape. Now you can just tear it and just stick it down, or you can cut it nicely with your scissors. It's entirely up to you. So if you press it with your nail, it should make it easier to come up, like so. Now I'm going to do this side the same. It probably needs to be about there. Press it down with my nail, and then it's easier to flick up. So bringing that back over, I want that to be about there. There. The good thing about double-sided is you can reposition it. I think that is okay. I'm just going to pull that up a minute because it's at an angle. I'm not liking that angle. Oh, typical. It's not going to pull up now. Look somewhere else. Don't look. Right. Straightened it so it's wonky. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's better. Okay, then while that's on there, I'm going to put that round there. And there should be enough tape on the back for it to stick, just to overlap, but just to make sure it does stick, I'm going to put some down the whole length, and instead of using tumbler glue, I'm going to use double-sided. So that's one piece. So this, as you can tell, is a warts and all video. Okay, do that side. And then just need a bit in the middle, just for luck really, because it's going to stick. It's such a tiny weight that's on it. A bit at the top and a bit at the bottom. I can hear you all shouting at the screen, what is she doing? Okay, we're there. This is only the front panel. It's worth doing well. So like I say, you could just put one layer of DSP. You don't have to do this double layer, but if you're going to put ribbon round, you still want to put the ribbon on the DSP before you stick it down. So I'm going to lie that down flat, and then I think that's about right. Oh, look at that, how beautiful is that? And then at the end I'll just cut that. So that's that piece. Then moving on to the inside. So the inside, I chose this paper. So this is just going straight on, and you won't have to watch me doing double-sided tape. So this paper, you need 3 panels like this, and they are 6 7/8 by 4. So there's one on the back of the front cover. Honestly, this comes together so quickly. It's just the prep that takes time. Well, actually, the bit that takes the most time is choosing the designer series paper. Oh my goodness, especially when it's as beautiful as this. So one goes on there, and then one goes on here, even though, oh no, it's not that one, is it? No, that was good thinking, Claire. So it's just that one. So we need one down here as well. So what have I done with the spare? Oh, here it is. Okay, so a little bit in there. And because it's 3/4, I need a piece that is... should I do it contrast? Should I do it as the same as the front? Let's cut this piece and then we'll decide. So as it's 3/4, I want 1/8 of an inch smaller. So is that 3/8? 2, 4, 5/8. Sorry. Okay, let's have a look at that on the card, because I've just realised that that floral is going the other way. Does that matter? Do you know what? I don't think it does. Does it? Let's have a look on this one. No, it'll be all right. So this is going to be 5/8 by 6 7/8. Okay, and then that will just get stuck on there. And then that's that piece of the card done. So that's going to go there. I quite like the fact that it's going the other way, because it makes it stand out a bit more. Okay, so it's that. Then the pocket is going to go on this side as well. So we need some paper to go on there. So that size of paper is 3 7/8 by 3 5/8, because the pocket is 4 inches, that piece. So you want 1/8 of an inch smaller, which is 3 7/8, and then that way is 3 5/8. So if you've got directional paper, just make sure you're cutting it the right way round. It's handy to use paper that's any way round, any way up, if that makes sense. Whereas this one has got a bit of a direction on it, so I just need to make sure that that's in the right way. So I've used that paper because it's the same as the front, so when it's open it's got a nice contrast. Now this is your pocket. The first panel is the sides, like that, so they definitely need no glue because they're going to be like that. What is going to be glued is these pieces. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to take the bottom panel first. Okay, put some glue across there, and then what I'm going to do is line that up with the bottom of my card, so covering the DSP and just making sure it's in line. Okay, oh, Tombow glue's got a bit of wiggle room. Okay, so that is going to go like that. If I hold that up so you can see it, can you see it's right along the bottom? Now we're going to do a side, so let's do this side first. So you're going to put glue on this bit. Okay, again you're going to fold it round, and you want to make sure that it's down to the bottom here before you press it on. So just like that. Okay, and if you've got something like a bone folder, which I haven't, you can slide it inside and just press it down. Okay, so when you're happy that that one's stuck, now do this side. So if you do that side first, it's easier to get to. Okay, so this one is going to again tuck round, tuck it inside, make sure it's lined up with the edge of the card, and before you press it down, just make sure that it's also at the bottom here, so it's all square. Okay, so you've got a lovely little pocket ready for your chocolate or anything else that you fancy putting in there. It's 1/2 inch wide, so that is quite a big gap to fill. Let's have a look. Just make sure it's stuck. Just going to rub my scissors in there just to press it down, because I've left my bone folder in my craft room. I need a bigger craft room, don't I, so that I can film in my craft room. Are you listening to that, hubby? Okay, so that's the first bit of your card. Now the second card is going to fit onto here. So we're going to put that out the way, and we're going to bring back in the second piece of card, and we're going to layer the pieces of designer series paper straight on there. So you've got one that's going to go there, and then another one that is here that's going to go there. Okay, so we can do that. We can stick them straight on. Oh, Rosie, I was just talking about you. I thought it was weird you weren't with me when I was filming. Okay, here comes this one. So that's just going to go on that side. Do you want me to remind you of the sizes? So these panels, these DSP panels, are 6 7/8 by 4, and that's because my card height is 7 inches, so I've gone 1/8 of an inch smaller. Okay, there you go. I think my mum's going to really love this. Get really excited about seeing somebody's face when you've made something so special. and they realise you've made it. Okay, so that's it. That's just like a normal inside of a card. But we need to do the vase bit. Oh, I hear you worry. Should we do that bit first as well? Let's do that, because then all of the bits are done. So this is going to have a white panel the same size, so 6 7/8 by 4, and then it's going to have a DSP panel on the top of it, 1/8 of an inch smaller. So let's stick that on as well, and I don't want any ribbon or anything around this one, so I can just go for it. Don't have to worry about sticking with double-sided tape. I'm just going to use this Tombow glue. So that's going to go on there, just like that. And then it's going to go straight on the back of this card. All will become clear in a minute. So what I want you to do now, after sticking this on, is go and take a break, have a breath, grab a drink, and then watch the next bit. Because at first you're going to think that's way too complicated, I can't do that. You can, and you'll be so glad you did. So what do we need for that piece? So we need a piece of card that is 2 1/4 by 5. So I've got loads of offcuts here. Let's see if one of those will fit. So it needs to be 2 1/2 by 5. So I'm going to cut it at 5 first, and then it's 2 1/2. Okay. So 2 1/2 by 5. Now, while it's on that short end that's 2 1/2, you need to score it at 3/4. Okay, get rid of that cutting blade, 3/4. And 1 1/2. So I'm just going to turn that round so I can do it. So I've done 3/4. I'm going to do 1 1/2. Okay. Still with me? That doesn't look right. That should look even. What have I done wrong? 1 1/2. I've done it 1 1/2. 3/4. Did I cut it at 2 1/4? No, I didn't. Okay. So 5 by 2 1/4, like that, and then you score it at 3/4 and 1 1/2. No. Yeah. Oh, I'm doubting myself now. Okay. Then you need another piece that is 3/4 by 1 1/2. So that's a really small bit, isn't it? Let's have a look. Oh no, that's what we just done. No, 3/4 by 3 7/8. Okay. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. I'll go through this again because I've just waffled, haven't I? 3/4 by 3 7/8 by 3/4. That's it. And this is a pulley piece. So 3 7/8 by 3/4, and we need to score it at 3/8. So we're just going to do 1 2 3, and we're going to do a little score line. Okay, so there's that piece there. Got our other piece there, and then the very last bit that we need is a piece that is 2 inches by 1/2. So let's do the half first. Half, and it's by 2 inches. Now you will notice that I have done mine all in the same colour. Okay, you may want to do your vase bit in a DSP pattern. So this bit here you might want to choose to do in designer series paper. So that piece that you need to cut is 2 1/4 by 5, and you need to score it on the short side at 3/4 and 1 1/2. Okay, and that will be your vase. I wanted mine to match in with everything, so I've done mine in the same card as the outside, and I've done that again here. So now what do? We didn't score it. So we scored it on the short side, we need to score it on the long side, and we need to do that at 1 inch both ends. 1 inch there and 1 inch there. Okay. So here you go, you've got this rectangle piece, it's got 3 stripes on it, and it's got 2 score lines on this way. So what you're going to do is cut a piece out. So if I cut this middle piece out to the first score line, just a piece of card you're cutting, you can do it. Okay, there. Then you flip it over, and this time you're going to cut these 2 rectangles off the end. Okay, so effectively you're leaving that middle piece this time. So that's going to go there. And then I'm going to do this side as well. Okay. So can you see what you're left with? We've taken those 2 off, and we've taken that piece off. Okay, so we're going to move those out the way. Now this little tab here, where the score line is, you're going to put some double-sided tape on. Okay, now my tape is a little bit wider than the Stampin' Up stuff, so I'm going to put a couple of pieces on mine. So there's the first piece. Oh, not so easy to pull up when it's a little piece. There's one piece. Oh. And then put another piece over the top just to make sure the whole thing is covered. Like so. So now that's got, it's all sticky on that bit. Okay, so this bit here is all sticky. Now you're going to get your long piece here with this little bit that's scorn, and you're going to lay that on there, and you're just going to match it up. Okay, so it makes this shape extra long, and that's it. Okay, ta-da! But don't forget to breathe. So here comes the exciting bit. This is going to be your vase. Can you believe it? So we are going to put some sticky on this end. So we're just going to do that now. So the little bit that's scored, you're going to put some sticky on there. So some double-sided on there. I'm just going to trim that because mine's a bit longer. Okay. Are you still with me? I really hope so, because this will be worth it. Okay. So let's make sure you can see. So this is the piece you stuck on. This is the bit that's got the sticky tab. Now you're going to line this edge up with your fold in your card. So bring your card up and just make sure it goes to there, while still making sure that your vase, there's a little bit of room at the bottom, not too much, because you don't want your vase halfway up the page, but that is about right. So this, while that's flat and the sticky bit is up, and I bring this over and just flatten it down, like so. Okay, so now what happens, can you see it's attached like that? So I'm going to fold that down flat, and that other piece that you did that was 1/2 inch by 2, that's going to go across there. So you're going to put a little bit of double-sided tape top and bottom. So I'm going to put a bit on there, not too much. Oh, let's turn it over so I can see where I'm cutting. On the same side, put it at the top of that one. So you've got a piece top and bottom. Oh. Okay. So if I show you that, it's got sticky, double-sided on the top and the bottom. So if I remove that, okay. Now you're going to put it sticky side down, top and bottom, either side of here. So almost right up to the edge. So it's stuck there and stuck there, okay? Nearly there. Now what happens is this comes over, okay, like that. And we're going to put some sticky side, double-sided, on these two tabs now. So again, mine's going to take a little bit longer because I put two pieces. And there's one. Put that one there. I haven't tried it with Tombow glue. I wonder if Tombow glue would stick just as good. I just wanted the manoeuvrability of the double-sided. So peel that back, like so. And then just make sure there's enough double-sided on there. Okay. And, oh, sticking to me instead of that. Nearly there. Okay. So, peel that all off. And then I will show you how you make this work. Oh. Okay, so we've got a pulley that's attached to this side of the card and moves. We've got this barrier to stop it coming out, okay? Now we've flipped this over, we've put double-sided tape, and if I turn it round that way so you can see, I'm going to fold these under, okay? But while they're under, so while they're like that, I'm going to bring this card up. Now this is really important. Don't think the card is up, I'll just stick it down. Because what you want to do is make sure the card is almost flat. So, oh, stick it down, almost. Bring this in. This is not very good for video to show you. How can I show you that better? So what, if I ignore those for a minute, what you need is this bit not to be bent. You don't want it to fold. So you need it to be completely closed. So I don't know if you can see that. That is flat, so that when your vase is flat, your card closes. So you need to make sure that that piece there, this little piece here, is as flat to the card as it will possibly go. And then bring these in to make sure that you get it in the right place. Okay, like so. So my card is flat, nothing has been forced shut. And then hopefully, when I open it, take a breath. No, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because that is stuck. That's good though. So what's happened is my vase is stuck on this bit rather than on the DSP, which is why we've got double-sided tape and we can adjust that. So I'm going to pull that off because this is going to be hidden anyway. No one's going to see this. It's inside the vase. Let's pull this side up as well. Okay, so I need to reset this to to there. Make sure that bit's stuck again. Okay, so that's working again. And I need to make sure that this pulley, these two tabs, are either side of here rather than on it. Okay. So it's good that it went wrong, because it means you can see that one really wants to go. It's easy, she said, didn't I? I so did. Right, that one is right. Is this one right? I think we might have it now. Okay. Yay, look. So I need to do something about that. I might put a little bit of extra card on there. So what happens is, well, I don't know that you can see, those two tabs need to be either side of this, and then it works. Okay, so I will fix that. You know what's good for that? An embellishment or two. So if I bring this back in, now I just need to stick this piece onto here, which is super easy because it's just some Tombow glue. I was going to say, how can that glue be running out when it's all new? So that, I know, is exactly the same size as the back piece. So I'm going to bring that over, stick that on, and before I press it down too hard, I'm going to lift it up and just check that it's in line there. Okay, and then I'll press down on it. And there we have it. So let's have a look if it works. So you've got this panel on the front that you can put your sentiment on, whether it's for a birthday or a wedding gift or Mother's Day like mine. And you open it up and look, there's a lovely pocket for some chocolate. And then when you open it up the other side, there's the vase mechanism to put some flowers in. Sorry, I was still thinking about what I can put on there. So, what else do I need to show you? I think that's it. The flowers you can make as busy or as beautiful as you want. What did I do on this one? Let me show you. So this I used, let's have a look in the catalogue so I tell you the right thing. I used the Sentimental Part Bundle for the greenery and these die cut phrase labels here. The actual stamp set I used is an old retired one. I'm so sorry because I wanted a certain message for my mum. And that is strong and beautiful because it's just got lovely sentiments in. The flowers are also from that same die set on there. And then these ones are an old punch and I've just layered the dies there. Ah, these ones here. So the greenery I've used from that dies. So they all look like sort of this. But any that you've got that are leaf or stalk like you can use and just layer them up. The flowers, let me show you the flowers before we go. So, not got a flower punch, but you have a ladybird punch. Okay, so what did I do? Got a piece of card, cut some ladybird wings. So there's one. Let's do another one. My thinking was, how could I make the flowers that are on here? So on this card, on this designer series paper, how could I make those flowers? And they look like they're just free of those. So, but what I did actually was I folded that in half, the wings, and just sort of layered it slightly. Then I put some glue on the other two, just along the bottom. And I overlapped them like so. So that made a flower. Now when that dries, let me just go and get the, which it does very, very quickly, you've almost got a 3D flower. But to help it stay 3D, I put a dimensional in the middle. Really, really simple, like so. And that now gives you a 3D flower. And then you can either glue that down or add another dimensional and it's done. Ta-da! So how to make a flower with a ladybird punch. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me despite the tragedy that we fixed. Okay, so remember, put your 2 panels either side of that strip and then you'll be sorted. I hope that you give it a go. Love any feedback. Please get in touch with me. Send me a message, send me an email, createdtheottaway@gmail.com. If you like my videos and can put up with my waffle, please click the bell to subscribe and get the notifications. As I said, I'm based in the UK, so if you're looking for Stampin' Up products, you can find them through me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a lovely Mother's Day yourself. Thanks. Bye.